We go to Maryland.
Wow!
Where a federal judge has stepped in as denied the parents the right to opt their little kids out of the alphabet agenda.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. What the fuck?
Let's see. ABCs and painting, not a problem.
Oh, yes, of course.
Chest binding and lopping of nutsacks.
Are you retarded?
Well, parents, ain't happening.
You filthy hippie.
I'm Jazz Berganzo, and this.
It's not a rhetorical question. Are you retarded?
It's what's next. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Jazz Berganzo, what's next? Your daily dose, common sense, facts, and salt. Happy Monday. Of course, new week, new shenanigans, new bullshit. Speaking of bullshit, we head out to Maryland. Lovely Maryland, you know, home of the Crabs, the Orioles, the Ravens, and chest binding and nutsack lopping. What I mean? Well, it turns out that a federal court judge has stepped in as denied parents the opt for their children, K through 5, in regards to being forced down their throats of the alphabet curriculum. You gotta love Maryland. Oh, Satan says hi, by the way. And here we go. This, coming out of Breitbart. Federal court. Parents in Maryland school district cannot opt their children out of the alphabet curriculum. A federal court judge on Wednesday upheld a Maryland school district policy that does not allow parents to opt their young K through 5 children out of the curriculum about the alphabet. In a 2-1 panel decision released by the U.S. Court of Appeals on the Fourth Circuit, federal judges affirmed a lower court decision denying the request of religious parents to block policy issued by the Montgomery County School District as of March of 23. So this has been a little over a year now. They've been dealing with this bullshit, and of course, they get this result. Judge Stephen Agee, a President George Bush appointee, wrote the majority opinion stating that parents did not present enough evidence to show that the policy violates the free exercise of religion and their due process rights under their children's education. No, because we haven't seen enough over the last year to warrant any evidence. Quote, we take no view on whether the parents, of course not, you don't take a view, on parents will be able to present evidence sufficient to support any of their various theories, really? Once they have the opportunity to develop a record to the circumstances surrounding the board's decision on how the challenged texts are actually being used in school. No, of course not. Florida, anyone? At this early stage, however, given the parents' broad claims, the very high burden required to obtain a preliminary injunction, and the scant record before us, we are constrained to affirm the district court order denying a preliminary injunction. Translation, we just don't give a shit. The Muslim, Jewish, and Christian parents represented by the Becket Fund for Religious Liberty argued that the district's refusal to allow their children to opt out of reading of the alphabet-themed books of participation in the curriculum violated their right to raise their children in accordance to their faith and how their faith defines identity and sexuality. Parents are also argued that the material is not age appropriate for such young students. Again, see Florida. Books titled integrated into the K-5 curriculum include The Pride Puppy, Uncle Bobby's Wedding, Born Ready, the true story of a boy named Penelope. The book, The Pride Puppy, which is the sole test expressly approved for use in pre-K and Head Start classrooms, invited the 3 and 4-year-old audience to look for items such as drag king, leather lip ring, drag queen, underwear, the judge's opinion notes. It's there. All these books are there. That's the evidence they're presenting. Parents are also pointing out the district had provided guidance to the teachers on staff on how to redirect concerns about the pro-alphabet content and questions from students to order details. The guidance also counseled that if a student says, quote, a girl can only like boys because she's a girl, the teacher can interrupt and say, you're an idiot, kid. That's not how it actually works. People of any gender can like whoever they like. How do you think that it would make the character's name to hear you say that? Do you think it's fair for people to decide of us who can and cannot like or love? And of course, that's after the kid's been thrown in the closet or been suspended. Even so, the panel ultimately ruled that simple hearing about their views does not necessarily exert pressure. No, of course not. Or believe to act differently than one's religious faith requires. The opinion reads, Judge Marvin Quantelbaum, Jr., who was also appointed by former President Donald Trump, wrote his dissenting opinion stating that he would have overturned the district court ruling and blocked the school district's policy. Quote, the parents have shown the board's decision to deny religious opt-out burdens these parents' right to exercise free religion and direct their religious upbringing of their children, and by putting their choice in either compromising their religious beliefs or foregoing a public education for their children. Yes, you're denying them the right to educate their children or to see how they're educated. Excuse me. I also find that the board's actions, at least under this record, were neither neutral nor generally applicable. Finally, I find that parents have established the other requirements for a preliminary injunction. So I would reverse this decision to the district court and enjoin the Montgomery School Board of Education from denying religious opt-outs for instruction for K-5 children involving the text, he concluded. I also disagree with the majority's conclusion that the parents have not produced enough evidence to establish their free exercise rights have been burdened. The parents have met that burden. They have produced the books that no one disputes will be used and instruct their K-5 children. They produced declarations explaining the details of why the book will conflict with their religious beliefs. They have produced the board's own internal documents showing how to suggest that teachers respond to the students if their students use common sense. No, kid, you're wrong. Here's why you're wrong. And parents who question the content of these wonderful child-appropriate books. Quote, these parents' faith dictates that they, not others, teach their children about sex, human sexuality, gender, and family life. Their faiths dictate that they shield their children from the teachers that contradict and undermine their religious views on those topics, he wrote. And no matter how you slice it, the board's decision to deny religious opt-outs prevents the parents from exercising an aspect of their faith if they want their children to obtain a, quote, public education. Parents, pull your kids out of these schools. Eric Baxter, a senior counsel and vice president for the Beckett Fund, states that the parents are disappointed with the decision. He knows that the parents are not asking for the books to be removed. I am from the schools and want their option for their young children to opt out. Quote, we understand that there are different parents who have different perspectives, Baxter said, but all parents should have the right to decide if there's something inappropriate for their own child and to remove their child from the classroom in those circumstances. And I think that's something that every resident in Montgomery County can get behind. Baxter said he plans to appeal his case to the Supreme Court. Oh, and I guarantee you it will make it there. My thoughts. The fact of the matter is that to say that the parents show no evidence in a 2-1 decision, show no evidence, or their evidence was vague, even though they presented all the books that are being shown in Montgomery County School District and internal documents, and teachers basically telling the kids, hey, you know what? If you got questions, that you feel a little comfortable with, well, guess what? Get comfortable real fast, because we're going to ram this alphabet education down your throat, and there's not a damn thing that you can do about it. And guess what? Federal judge says, you're right. Parents, there's not a damn thing you can do about it. So it'll be appealed. And in my opinion, it will go to the Supreme Court because this is a major decision that has to be made at the highest levels of the court. Sadly, we don't live in a society anymore where facts and common sense are in use. Just look at Harrison Buckner, whose epic speech on common sense and facts is getting hated on by people you didn't think would be hating on him. But yet, here we are. So, when you have Christian parents, Muslim parents, Catholic parents, when you have parents of different religions, i.e. faith, joining forces and saying, you know what, we're going to fight for the common goal. And the common goal is for us to raise our children as we see fit when it comes to teaching them sexuality and what's appropriate and what's inappropriate. But no, not when it comes to the federal schools. No, we're going to teach your kids what they should be learning. And parents, you need to sit down and shut the f up. That's where we are in 2024. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Borganzo. This is What's Next. When you see more like this, please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. Hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. Continue spreading the word about the show. Appreciate you guys watching. And we'll see you next time. Peace.